Au revoir, everybody. I hope everybody had a great start to the weekend. I know I did. I watched a Royal Rumble. I know it's been a while since we did anything wrestling related. I got some stuff coming this February. Of course, Invincible reviews. I want to see if I can make that weekly, involving that I've also read the comic book. So more source material, in-depth lore going into the reviews and see what they followed by the adaptation, what they edited out. Because, of course, animated series always do that. But, yeah, Royal Rumble 2025 was a movie. Well, primarily the main event and the tag title match were my favorite parts. Of course, it makes sense that, and I know I'm going to get canceled, whoop-de-doo, the women's match ain't shit. Respectfully, the only upside was seeing Trish Stratus and Alexa Bliss return. Anything else can kick rocks. Respectfully, of course. I love me some Stratusfaction. It tells me one thing. When you have at least half of the women that were getting over, major pops were coming from Jada Parker, Jordan Grace. I mean, the biggest pop was Alexa Bliss coming back. Nikki Bella. It's either alums, injury returns, or NXT talent. None of them regulars on weekly television are getting that amount of pop. None of that. When you saw the something something collective out of Sonya Deville with Zoe Starks, that smacked, bro. Like, I swear, you jump on like women that are like Maxine Dupree over when she was 13th in the Rumble, and then getting jumped by everybody from Shayna Baszler, Zoe Starks, Ivy Neal, that I have no idea how she's in the roster. She is undersized as hell. She cannot get over to save her life. She's just a more broad like Dana Brooke that can't get over. Part of like American Made, no promo ability, incredibly high pitched. Talks like Tamina Snuka. Too much testosterone in her. And it sucks too. She's like 5'2". God damn. Like, majority of the women, like, you guys need to Lucha Underground or something. You need to shake it up. You want to diversify the women's rumble, have it its own specific stipulations. Most of these women can't be like overly into the ropes. Most of them were either just stalling for time. We had like 12 women at the rumble at once. No one gave a shit. Majority of spots were either botched by Naomi. Group spots with Bianca Belair looked completely fabricated and choreographed. Nobody looked like they were getting interested until like the second half when Charlotte Flair literally walked and walked and walked. She wasn't even number 30. She had pyrotechnics all the way from the beginning to the end of her way outside, like it was a Cody Rhodes title match. At 27th, we had Julia Nia Jackson, Nikki Bella, until she got eliminated, bro. Like, majority of the women, like, you could have just quickly pasted it. How is Speed, like, more popular than, like, all the women's division, bro? And that's not even me hating. That's just how it is. I think when we go out of the sports market of real, like, and I understand you guys want to denounce, like, sports entertainment. That's really wrestling. It's soap opera action that they used to do over the circus and you could even say the Coliseum times over what it takes to, like, entertain over in the crowd using violence. And knowing who's going to be the major attraction, you're going to see who's going to get the major threat. So Charlotte Flair wins the Rumble after her triumphant return, not competing in like a whole year. After not seeing Alexa Bliss for quite a while. As well, since like 2023. She came back more than Big E. We're going to get GTA 6 before Big E returns in the ring, bro. Jada Parker was an absolute starlet. Lash Legend looked like she was one of the bigger women on the roster, and she already looked more legit than like B-Fab, Chelsea Green. Piper Niven put nothing into there. As soon as like Chelsea Green got eliminated earlier after a mistake over by Piper Niven couldn't even shine for herself, knowing that she had a championship opportunity in the biggest show in WWE. Like, no importance. Everything felt like an indie spot. No women actually looked like legitimate star unless you were from NXT. On God. The next match was actually a bigger upside. Thankfully, this was 4 matches to capitalize on than like 9 in like 5 hours. So you get like compacted. But they could have done a few more. that could at least laced around what was going on weekly around the storylines to just finalize some storylines, to just work on some new ones, so they don't have to push over this 50-50 and they can always keep it a bit more fresh. Because what they're doing in the tag division over on SmackDown, Motor City Machine Guns, this would have been a main event on New Japan. But this was a great match, I'm not going to lie. Well paced. Like, I'll give it to Motor City Machine Guns. And I think I was watching this with my brothers, of course, because we watch wrestling more casually now. But it's like athleticism with a purpose was the best way to show what Motor City Machine Guns could do. And I told them they were a sleeper tag team back in the early 2010s when they were over in TNA. They made Gargano and Ciampa look like stars, doing reversals over the first the fake hot tag into the grapple for Ciampa to hit, I think, Alex Shelley with the high knee, then going under the apron and holding him over. This would be like an NXT TakeOver, like match of the year candidate from years ago. Then hitting the skull and bones to get the other tag, getting the other tag after getting Ciampa out of the picture. Then a back and forth. Enziguri, stuff going to their way. Hitting that combination over the knees. Enziguri pulling him down over the face and then hitting him with a drop kick. I have never seen my brothers having this much fun. They said they reminded him of when Paul London and Brian Kendrick were a tag team back in the SmackDown days when we were watching it, bro. That's how fun it was. That's how tag teams should feel. Well paced, have psychology, very fast, have a meaning, it has a reasonable ending over the Street Profits, hooded up like the hoodlums they are. Coming in to interfere, causing Motor City Machine Guns to possibly regain their tag titles after hitting them with the super kick knee combination to pick up the victory in a 2-1 shot, in a 2-1 upset in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Best match, I would say. The undisputed WWE Championship ladder match was a bit much to be desired, even though it had some violent spots. I knew Cody was gonna win. Kevin Owens is never getting over. He's usually like the gatekeeper. He's like the Rhino of the WWE, where like he doesn't have the presence of a main eventer, but he can be like that grizzled vet to get the other guy over while looking incredibly unhealthy more time goes on type shit. He looked like a legitimate, vengeful guy, picked up the most damage, abusing him with the ladder, suplexing Cody Rhodes after like tossing him over like between the ladder, used it as a weapon, using even the step ladders to try to incapacitate Owens to try to go over, until hitting him with a powerbomb where he like scraped the back of his head over in the ladder. Package pile driver. Then the officiates came around trying to stop the match, knowing both competitors were incapacitated. Sami Zayn went for some moral support, trying to help out his friend, until Kevin Owens got up, hitting him with a powerbomb again, trying to take him out over in the commentary table. Rhodes ends him, launching him with an Alabama Slam. Shout out to Hardcore Holly, for you fake wrestling fans out there. Yeah, I'll say it. Ending him, literally launching him like a bunny rabbit through a hole. Closing it off, Cody Rhodes ends up pulling up the 2 belts, especially the old school winged belt. Please bring that back as the original belt. That big gold W ain't shit. No new fans tolerate. They only tolerate it because it's just it's a newer belt. Yeah, that's just the direction that in. It's just a big W. At least they know it's a WWE title. But nobody likes it. Even old school fans are like, what happened to the winged belt? Like, come on. I'm sure Hogan would even agree with you on that one. Oh, but he's racist. But yeah. The Royal Rumble was a goddamn movie. Rey Mysterio closed over with Penta. We kind of had like a bunch of midgets, to be for real. I'm not going to lie. We had like a bunch of midgets to begin. Like, I think the tallest was Penta, until like Santos Escobar came out at number 1. Like Akira Tozawa closed over. Like, we had a bunch of luchadors opening over the show after like Hayes eliminated Tozawa. It just off incapacity, like knocking him out from behind, and yet he was out for ISHO Speed to show up, that he cameoed in and got a couple spots after Braun Breaker like wrecked House, eliminated 2-3 guys until he like eliminated Speed after hitting him with like a rebounding spear off using the ropes. It was very entertaining. I was having so much fun. Jacob Fatu looked like a man on a mission. His presence was so known. No like solo. We couldn't extend it over to like 35. I always thought like if they're having such an inflation with the Royal Rumble, they just get the more important guys that can just push over their spots, get over. We had Otis. We didn't have the jobber guys that we know that were just going to be legitimate fodder. The most important part came around the latter half for like past 26, like around 16 when Drew McIntyre came with Sami Zayn in the latter half, John Cena, CM Punk. Number 30 was shockingly Logan Paul that returned due to his time off because he had to raise his child for a bit. Had some high spots, and then over in the second half we had some high spots. It was incredibly fun. Everybody was getting high reactions. IShow Speed did a tremendous job helping eliminating Otis with Braun Breaker. Then Braun Breaker destroyed him. Having no New Day. Shockingly, I thought they would tease over at least him, mocking him, being like he can't compete, try to get some heat over it. But this was incredibly fun. They give the upside over to Jey Uso. That survived over and this ended CM Punk getting eliminated all at once. Seth Rollins eliminating Reigns and Rollins all at once. Jumping McIntyre, and then curb stomping Reigns. Rollins getting absolutely freaked out, feeling like he got screwed over. Sami Zayn following. We had the last three be Cena, Reigns, and Logan Paul. Logan Paul then gets eliminated by Jey Uso. Then after a back and forth reversal between the apron, suspension rolling high, and it's Cena was going to nearly win, but we know that he's probably going to just give it off to Jey Uso anyway after a super kick outside of the ring. Winner Jey Uso for the 2025 Rumble. It's still weird to say this was in February, because we all know January usually kicks off the year with the Royal Rumble. This was a fun show. I'd give it a 6 or a 7. Rumble match was incredibly more entertaining. Tag title had my face back that there could be good tag team wrestling for once with an actual purpose. But I feel like how they booked the tag team division is just 50-50. Bland-ass promos with legit back and forth with the Street Profits at least trying to give over a presence before they do something more with Montez Ford. That got to be around 2025. But, yeah, the show was fun. It was enjoyable. At least a bit more consumable than the past 6 Rumbles I've watched live that I didn't have to stream. Thank God. I mean, I popped over. Shout out to YTC. He'll be live later on the podcast. Besides that, it's good, decent show. But tell me who you guys think. I personally would have gave it to CM Punk. I knew that I thought a heel would try to eliminate Cena so they can leverage out him getting into a feud to get at least a few newer guys over. I knew that wasn't going to be Damian Priest. Ludwig Kaiser didn't break Santino Marella's record of getting eliminated fastest after trying to waste time. Chad Gable looked legit over a couple back and forths after his time with Otis. Some legitimate, at least compact storytelling, and it didn't feel overwhelmed with the guys flopping around. I do feel around when they did Punk, Reigns, and Cena and trying to stall for that moment, it's it's either fucking fight, because they didn't even fucking fight. They waited until the timer went off until Rollins came up so we can jump one CM Punk, because they've been beefing. It just feels like they're just there for the moment. And don't get me wrong, there's always iconic moments in the Rumble, but usually it's always the antics, the opportunities, and the times it is to turn and a moment's notice where you got your back turned and some guy just wants it more than you. That's the whole point of the Royal Rumble. And I think the more times WWE just thinks that the Rumble sells itself, the wrestlers don't sell the Rumble. You guys lost the plot, but that's just besides the point. I thought it was a decent show. A couple opportunities were a bit left on the table. But other than that, I enjoyed myself, and that's more important than anything else. And I hope you guys enjoyed it too. That's it for me over on the DST show. Like, comment, subscribe for more. I will take my Tylenol.